Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between Flash and 458 here on Styler. Right side of the map, it is the Purple Terran player. He is a terror. He is the best player of all time in StarCraft Brood War. It is Flash. And in the bottom side of the map, it is the white Protoss player 458 with 3 exclamation marks. He does not need to APM spam because he knows he is good enough to handle Flash. Yes, I know Flash is the best player ever, but man, 458 is one of the best fastest map ever players. He's going to give Flash all he can handle in this replay. I can tell you that much. Hit that like button if you're excited for fastest map ever replays featuring Flash. Oh, I like it so much. I like the purple here. He chooses purple when he can. And I don't know, maybe it's his favorite color. Does anybody know that? Does anybody have any ideas about that? Maybe. So maybe they do. Okay, so what are we doing here today? It's going to be PvT, fastest map. Drops are king in fastest map. Can you get tank drops? Can you get vulture drops? Can you do storm drops and reaver drops over on this side? If you can do these things, you're going to win these matches. If you can't do these things, your economy is going to be in the toilet, and your opponent's is going to be through the roof, and you're going to wish you were dead. Sometimes that absolutely happens. Anyway, what are we looking at here today? Blah, blah, blah. Lots of gateways without question here. Is he going? Oh, he is. So it's a one. Why can't I click on that? Is that command center and a barracks? So I think that was command center first. Oh, yeah. Command center first here, recognizing, yeah, I mean, aggression is normal from Protoss and fastest map, but not always what's happening here super duper early, and it's a huge map, so him finding me fast is going to be hard to do. He does have 2 probes scouting out and has not found Flash yet, so that works out for him pretty effectively. I like how he's incorporated a GG Re into his name. So fun. So fun to see for sure here. All right, so barracks, barracks, barracks. You want to have those barracks early and then move into your mech, move into your tanks. Kind of one of the ways to beat your opponent, too, is if you can just kind of get tanks right on the production of a Protoss, they have a really hard time dislodging you, unless they have carriers, but then you have Goliath and it's kind of this paper, rock, scissors thing, or rock, paper, scissors thing, depending on how you'd like to say it. So Zealot's now coming down, and they're going to recognize, okay, so, oh, hold on. Maybe they think that's a scouting SCV. Maybe they just want to keep an eye on it. Seems possible. You just want to keep an eye on it. Why not? Because why not? So Zealots are coming down, and Marine out, bunker in production. 3 Marines versus 2 Zealots is a terrible micro scenario to be in. I hate it, honestly. But the micro here is, again, Flash-esque, so should be fine. The bunker finishes. The Zealots have to get out of there. The range on that bunker is enough to shove them away. I mean, this is pretty heavy Zealot pressure. And you're going to have to repair here. You're going to have to bring some SCVs in to repair because these guys getting a full surround is bad. There we go. Let the repair begin. Can we hold it? Is the question. The answer is yes. Repair is good. Zealot attack is good, but repair is better most of the time. So Zealot pressure is continuing here. He is going for additional Nexuses here, trying to keep the pressure on Flash so he doesn't send any attacks his way, because there's really nothing home to defend at this stage of the game. Yeah, I mean, 1 Zealot going down this early is really rough stuff. Flash has some thoughts about him coming back on in here because it's just not working out. You know what I mean? He just keeps losing Zealots for approximately nothing. It's repair time, and it's repair resources on that bunker. 26 to 22 workers in favor of the Terran player Flash right now. It's 42 to 39 overall. SCV scouts and sees where 458 is, and they just happen to spawn right next door to each other, which doesn't happen all the time in fastest map games or in these big 8-player maps where only 2 people are playing. To have a neighbor is actually fairly rare. Statistically, the numbers are not good. So a ton of gas coming up over on the right side. 3rd refinery on the way. Again, this is fastest map. He's already at 30 SCVs at 4 minutes, which, whew, these games are good. These games start fast. And they sometimes can end fast, too, with, again, a really nice drop or two. But I love the additional Nexuses that are already done for 458. The additional command center is really nice, too. From Flash, he started factory production. He has factory production up here. Marines and medics doing okay versus Zealots, but that's a humongous number of Zealots. I'm going to toss that out there real quick. That's a large number of Zealots causing you problems. However, I don't know. Whatever made Flash 458, or whatever made 458 turn around, I don't understand. I guess maybe he wants to play with these cannons and these zealots together. And that's, yeah, that is a formidable combination against this number of Marines and medics, especially because they don't have upgrades yet. You know what I mean? They don't have a range upgrade. They don't have armor upgrades. They don't have stim yet. Maybe they have stim. Did stim come through? I mean, if you have medics, then yeah, you probably have stim. Fire bats are in the mix for zealots too, so the contain is real at the moment. Just making more zealots, just pumping them out of these gateways here. More probes all the time, more cannons as he feels is necessary. Flash is now free to do whatever he wants. He really doesn't have to worry about zealot attacks for some time. With these fire bats out, again, with the medic support, the medics are just force multipliers. Double robotics facility on the way. You're going to want a lot of shuttles for a lot of dropping in this game. At some point, you want to start making anti-air if you are Flash. Are you Flash, though, is the question. You are probably not Flash. You're probably not watching this and being Flash. But if you are, say hello. Anyway, siege mode on the way from Flash. A fourth robotics facility on the way. Look at this. Like, I need reavers and I need shuttles. The stim is definitely done. Look at him going for this, though. All right. Oh, this is problematic for these cannons. There you go. Cannon down. Zealots attacking. Fire bats. Well, fire bats stuck in the back there. There you go. Getting some nice shots off against the zealot. He does end up surviving, but too many cannons. Too many cannons, and Flash was not able to break through there. Zzz, says 458. He has some thoughts about this. 69 to 63. Supply in favor of Flash. Let the tank production begin. Let the upgrades begin. Let the additional factories begin. How many? Just the four robotics facilities, Falcon. Don't freak out about it too much. But yeah, eventually we're going to start seeing turrets. So an engineering base should be constructed. Production tab says not. There is one already. Where is it? Here it is, right in the middle of everything. I have stuff blindness sometimes when I'm casting Robotics Bay, obviously, and a Stargate coming in here too. Maybe we'll transition into carriers fairly quick, which is again viable in the PvT. Alright, so siege mode is done. The question is, do you want to siege up? You do. You want to siege up, you got enough Marines to handle this. The zealots outside of the support of their cannons can't do a whole lot. The turrets along this side, making sure drops are not easy for 458. If he wants to go the long way around, he might be having an easier time with it, right? That's what he's trying to say. But tanks versus cannons is just not fair. Tanks win that battle every day and twice on Sundays. All right, I mean, cannon fire. The zealots all die. There's only a couple cannons left here. But reavers are real, and I think he saw the reavers and said, ooh, yeah, let's not maybe attack with bio into reavers. It is a rookie mistake. Yeah, he wants to reaver shot his tank. And there you go. Nice pickoff, nice snipe out of 458, getting rid of that tank. Now Flash has to pull back a little bit. However, tank count increasing substantially. Charon booster's already on the way. He scouted the Stargate, I think, and he recognized, okay, there's a sincere threat here that I may have to deal with carriers. So check to see if there's anything being produced up in here, because you can build star gates up here and then drop on in here if you want into Flash's base. But no, he didn't see anything. Nothing to worry about that way. He's really just kind of doing the one base thing. Floating barracks over for scouting purposes. See what's going on over here. The answer is cannons, trying to deal with potential tank drops. Can you put tanks up on here? Is this one of those maps you can put tanks on the high grounds? If you can, I assume we'll see Flash doing it here sooner rather than later, as he is making a starport for those dropship purposes. Dropship porpoises. Yeah, see, you want to drop along the north, because the left side has a ton of missile turrets, and the north side doesn't have as many yet. So here we go. You bring the Corsair in first to absorb and draw the turret shots. And then the shuttle's able to get in here pretty much unscathed. And then you pull the SCVs and get them the heck out of there. Reavers unloading. Ugh, big time shot on the Marines anyway. Trying to get down here. This Reaver is the one that wants to get the Marine. Does get a shot. It's 54 SCVs for Flash. That drop was dangerous and destructive as all get out there. Seriously took him down a notch economically. I mean, didn't kill him. He's not at like 11 SCVs or something stupid. But he is only at 54 now to 83 for 458. He's coming in for another drop. And a couple of these shuttles are going to die. So he just unloads a little prematurely, trying to get shots off, I suppose, on the Goliaths, which is okay. I mean, whatever. And trying to get rid of some of these turrets so that future drops are easier to do. Look at the micro. The Reaver micro is kind of hilarious right now. Final shot does bring one of these turrets into the yellow, which is where you want to be. So, no sign of a carrier transition yet out of 458. He's making additional gateways, which indicates he wants to keep going with those ground units, which is fine. But yeah, barracks, making sure this high ground is visible to Flash at all times. He's done with them, though. Everything is going to be Goliaths and tanks from this point on. He's continuing to get those upgrades. He's got 1-1 on his guys, and +1 attack is done for 458's guys, too. Another attempt to come through the area that he just wrecked, but I don't know about this. How many shuttles make it through? All the shuttles? I think all the shuttles made it through here. Good SCV pull, getting out of there from Flash. He's chasing them. He wants to know where those SCVs are so that he can drop on top of their heads. But instead, they pulled all the way out. That's a lot of lost mining time. He's trying to send Scarabs in to take down whatever he can. Goliath taking shots is good for him, and there's nowhere to go, so might as well take as many Goliaths with you when you die. 175 to 111 supply. 458 has a massive, massive supply lead. 90 to 67 workers right now. He has not been dropped at all. Flash is just doing what you do. You make tanks, you're steady, you're strong, you recover from damages taken. You try to get back up there in the SCV count if you can with your 5 command centers at this stage of the game. I don't know why there are so many injured SCVs here. I guess there aren't that many. This poor medic's just out of energy regardless. This control tower, yep, it's on the way. So drop ships are a thing right now. And you're going to try to frontal assault this? I don't know about this. Alright, man, so dropping on top of the tanks with Zealots to clear out this tank line in the front. I kind of like this. That was really well executed from 458. Tank line is gone. Zealots maybe here to clear out missile turrets to make further drops easier to do, forcing Flash to spend resources on turrets he'd rather spend elsewhere. Is it just Mass Goliath right now? This might have been a misread from Flash. Like, Mass Goliath is not exactly how you want to do this if your opponent isn't going carriers, and I really don't see any indication that 458 is going carriers. They're pretty good against Zealots, though, as we're seeing here with 1-1. Working on the 2-2. As we can see, upgrades do take approximately forever, but it's 187 to 147 supply. Still down about 20 workers here. Swinging around this top side would be a nice way to drop in. But I guess the Goliaths are pretty good at shutting down drops, too. If you kind of put some here, you kind of put some here. Really makes it hard to get through. We're setting up for another drop along the southern section here. What are we going to do with it? Yeah, that's not working for you. I think that's just freeing up supply for 458. Here we go. Drop attempt. Look at this layer. There are 4 layers of missile turrets down here. 4 layers. I really don't... Let's see how the shuttles do, I guess. Haven't taken hits there. 1 down, 1 down, 1 down. Reavers on the ground, taking shots. The SCP pull is pretty good. That's a good hit right there. 66 SCVs. All the Reavers are dead. And all the attacking force is gone there, too. Tanks in defensive positions, Goliaths in defensive positions, making it happen. 458 has some questions. What? I don't know. 163 to 165 supply. We're even at this stage of the game, which means that Flash's army is a lot bigger. I don't know. Could Flash just do this? Could he just march in, get rid of these cannons, march in, get rid of this, and kind of set up shop right here? And I think he's got it won if he can do that. It's all about positioning, man. It's all about positioning. 458 is going for Singularity Charge at the 14-minute mark of this match, which is awesomely hilarious. Here we go. Going for it. Storm on the way from 458 too. Zealot trying to get on top of these tanks, but hers might just be too many. Okay, the drops are real though. Trying to get some drops on in here. Reaver dropping right on top of the chaos is real, ladies and gentlemen, right now. Trying to break through. I'm not sure it's enough. I think Flash just has way too many units here with 2-2. That just got absolutely shut down. 183 to 153 supply. Flash has some things to say after that engagement. I don't know if it's a good idea to engage directly into the teeth of Flash's offense, to be honest with you. I'm going to go with no, it was not a good idea. Another drop attempt, trying to get Zealots on and trying to cause that friendly fire splash, and it does okay. I guess some of those tanks died, but until that, it was not very effective. So good news is tanks are slow. Slow about sieging in here. Flash at 68 workers to 90 for 458. But again, fewer workers means a bigger army if you're about the same supply. Reaver or Scarab damage is coming in here too. This is just not enough. It's nice. It's really nice here from 458. But there's just too much upgraded mech here to drop on in there at all times. We got science vessels for EMPs as necessary. These cannons are all dying. I don't know how much it matters in the long run, right? Like 458 doesn't care about this. He cares about the stuff down here. And once that starts getting into trouble, then he's in trouble. But man, 2-2 siege tanks with 2-2 Goliath support. I don't know where those Zealots were going. Reaver's defensive matrix is up, trying to make this thing happen, but 161 supply for Flash, 178 for 458. Flash is producing back home 6 tanks and 6 vultures at a time. I want to say there was an attempt. I guess it's probably too late to drop at this point. The tanks are getting closer, and stopping them is your priority. If you're 458, the Reaver shots are pretty good on these Goliaths. Tanks are getting taken down a little bit here, but there's just too much. You're just visually eyeballing it. Too much Terran here. They're setting up. They're actually hitting stuff inside your own base, which is really bad. 3-3 is done at this very moment. Just saw it complete on that production tab. And we're looking at a ridiculously hard to deal with army of 3-3 tanks. And it's 1-1-1 here, which is good. 1-1-1 is good for 458, but the upgrades are definitely better if you're 3-3. Fully upgraded is as upgraded as you can get. Another attempted drop on top of these units, just trying to thin this tank count out a little bit. It's just not working out. Carriers might be a decent idea, but it's too late to go to that. The Goliath production had already begun from Flash way earlier, and it's really good against these dropships and these Corsairs too. So at this stage of the game, we're looking at a 188 supply for 458. I don't know where it is. I guess a lot of it is probes. I guess a lot of it may be inside these shuttles, but everything he tries, sure, he's barely just taken in Flash's army a tiny bit, but he continues to come in. He continues to be a monster. Once there are tanks sieged up in your main base, that's good game, and it is in fact good game. 458 taps out, and Flash is your winner in 18 minutes and 45 seconds. That is how you play fastest map if you are a Terran player in the world today against a Protoss, especially. Ridiculous stuff there. Yeah, that's look at this. These 2 tanks barely set foot inside here. Siege up, and 458's like, I'm out. I've just seen too many games where tanks get sieged up and then it's over for the Protoss player. And it was good attempts. I mean, this 4-layer deep missile turret stuff was beautiful. The pulls on the SCVs were good. A couple of the drops were good, but mostly they didn't do as much as they wanted to. And then this was the tech he was stuck with. He was stuck with Zealots and Reavers and shuttles. And it wasn't enough. Like, again, a lot of tanks died in this game, but there were still enough at the front door to cause these some major problems. And that's all it takes, especially with the upgrade advantage that he had. So good stuff. Ooh, StarCraft help. What does that do? Anyway, end of the day, 207,000 points for Flash, 208,000 points for 458. So one of the rare instances where a player loses the game, but has more points into the total here, which is hilarious. Produced about the same number of units, roughly killed way more for Flash. and lost way more for 458. It's a lot of dead zealots there. Buildings razed. Way more razed by flashes. A lot of those cannons up front, though, is all it was. And then resources here. More gas mined for Flash, but more minerals mined for 458 pretty effectively, and way more spent. Way more spent. That was a lot of shuttles and Corsairs and Reavers and Zealots and upgrades and buildings and cannons, and Flash just knows the cost effectiveness of Terran. You don't have to outspend your opponent. Your tanks are going to kill 10 units each. And that's how it works. All right. Fantastic. Really great fastest map. Thank you so much, RJB, for sending that one in. Appreciate your continued support of the channel. Check him out as well. RJB has his own YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description for that. But until next time, that's going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Brood War. Wow. StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.